If you're new to wildlife videography and you're struggling with audio, you're definitely going to want to stick around for this video. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to videography, one of the most difficult aspects of it is audio. And, you'll all often hear, if you've watched any how-to videos on YouTube, the number one thing you'll often hear is good audio. And of course, we've got rain today, so hopefully that's not too distracting. Wildlife videography is difficult enough in itself, just all the different camera settings, the video settings, the frame rates, all the different aspects of it. And then you've got to have a subject that will cooperate with you, but then you throw in audio. And audio is its whole own aspect of videography. It's its own kind of course. It's everything about it. Can be really difficult. But I think I've come up with, the ultimate on-the-fly run and gun setup for wildlife videography. It's a combination of things. So if you've ever heard of 32-bit float, 32-bit float is kind of the latest in audio recording, where it's similar to RAW from photography or videography, in that it gives you a lot more overhead for the loud noises. It doesn't clip. So it makes it so that when you're out in the field, you don't have to be concerned about the levels and the gain set on your microphone nearly as much. The new Nikon ZR is one of the first cameras, especially in the mirrorless market, that has 32-bit internally, which is going to be fantastic. Nikon Z8 records a 24-bit, so you definitely have some issues with clipping in it. And that's what we're going to look at today. But I think I've come up with the perfect setup for getting 32-bit float on the fly, wired into the camera, no RF interference issues. It'll allow you to increase your audio library on the go. Every time you're out there, you can get clips, good quality 32-bit clips. You watch any nature program, and like I say, if you're new to videography, like me, when I started out, I actually turned the audio off in the camera because I didn't want to have to deal with it in post. It was always, wind noise scrubbed, especially if you're just dealing with the on-camera mic. You're just going to end up with audio that's just noisy. You're going to get lots of handling noise, lots of wind noise, and it's less than ideal. But when you watch a video, any wildlife video, any nature video, the one thing you have to understand is that the audio is actually going to be more, what's the word? I don't want to say manufactured, but the timeline of the video might be one consistent video shot. I almost guarantee the audio has got clips from all over that have been put together to make the video interesting and kind of add to the whole scene. When we're out here, you can record something like a shotgun mic. You can record something like the Zoom H2N. The Zoom is great as long as you want to put it away from you on a tripod. And the problem with this is there has a ton of handling noise. So if you're holding it in your hand, you're going to get crickling, you're going to get the movement on it. So it's a great, like if I wanted to record the audio of the rain, I'd go and put it out on a tripod in the forest. This is excellent. This is a great piece of kit, and it's definitely worth having in your kit, that you can, put it away from you and turn it on for an hour or two and just let it run. And then you're going to get some nice ambient audio that's record in 2-channel or 4 channels. So record almost surround sound. So this is a great piece of gear that if you want to be able to kind of, just like I said, spread that audio out and really kind of record the ambient environment. But it's not really, because of the handling noise, and if you got it in a pack, it's not super quick to get out for recording that bird call, that bird song, and it has some direction to it, but it's not going to be as focused as a shotgun mic. Let's take a look at what I think is, I've been fighting this for a while now. So I use the Rode Wireless Pro lav mics. I obviously have the DJI mic, which I use in my Osmo Pocket 3 for this sort of video. When I've got the Osmo, utilizing it, I use the DJI just because it transmits to the Osmo. It's nice and simple, clean, easy video. I do think I prefer the Rode Wireless Pros. I think I prefer the audio quality a little bit better. I use them in studio with the lav mics for anything like that. But when I originally bought them, intended purpose was to have, it would give me wireless audio that I could set the Wireless Pro connected to my shotgun mic, and it would give me wireless audio. The problem is when I've got the receiver turned on with my mic, I'm using the Comica VM20 mic, which it's a great budget mic, but there's a lot of radio interference when I've got it connected to the Rode Wireless Pro. And I think it's an issue with the mic, not with the Wireless Pro. I want to try the Rode NTG video mic, and I'm hoping that'll eliminate that. But it was something that I had in my head that would be great. The problem is, when you've got the radio interference into it, you're just adding another component to the whole setup. I think with the setup we're talking about now, I think I've got this really dialed in. And so the key to this, and I don't know why I didn't think of it before, is the Rode SC11. So this is basically a 3.5 mil TRS cable. So this won't work with a phone. This is meant for cameras. And what this allows me to do is hardwire in the microphone to the 32-bit recorder of the Rode Wireless Pro. So if you're not familiar with the Rode Wireless Pros, they are basically a lav mic. So you get, in the kit, you get 2 of these and you get a receiver. So these are the transmitters. These can clip on, just like the DJI mic here. You can clip it on, and then you can utilize this as its own recorder. The beautiful thing with these record internally. So this has got 32-bit float, so you get that amazing overhead, but then it also gives you that internal recording. So the problem with internal recording, it doesn't start when you start recording with the camera. So because of that, I found that trying to sync up, when dealing with wildlife, syncing it up can be a bit of a pain. Originally, it's like, great, I'm just gonna record everything straight into these. The problem is, if the camera is just relying on the audio from the camera itself, if you don't have the mic plugged in, you're just dealing with on-camera audio. So if this is gonna be essentially be your only audio source for every single clip. And that becomes difficult to sync in post. You're constantly trying to have to sync everything. It's fine in the studio when I'm hitting record, everything gets recorded at once. That's not an issue. But in the field, it becomes a problem. So that's where this comes in. So how we have this rigged up now. So we're going to rig the single side of the SC11 cable into the microphone. And then we've got the 2 3.5 mils out. So what is happening here is the signal from the mic is going to go to the Wireless Pro, and it's also going to go into my Z8. So what's happened? So basically, we're splitting the mic signal into a 32-bit recorder and also into the camera. So I get microphone quality going into my camera as well. So it allows the 32-bit float. It's definitely better than the in-camera audio. But a lot of times you don't need it. A lot of times, one of the hardest things with audio and wildlife videography are there planes flying over? Are there dogs barking? Are there people talking? There's so many times where your audio, it doesn't matter how great your recordings are, the audio is just not ideal based on the scene. Today is going to be a lot of noise with the rain. So if I'm recording, this would be not the ideal day to record bird calls. If you've got rain tapping on the microphone, the audio is shot anyway. You don't always need to have the 32-bit turned on for every recording. And that's where this setup is really unique and really works super well. So let's show you how this works. So how I've got this, I've got the small rig cage, which is a really integral part of how I've got this set up. The Wireless Pro goes into the cold shoe on the cage itself. The cable will need some cable management. I've got to work on this a little bit. So you want the cables mounted on top of the cage itself. So you've got the mic plugged in, into the camera, the port, and then into the 32-bit. So how this works from a field standpoint, and where this becomes really neat, is that when I'm shooting in the field, if I've got this mounted on the tripod, the really nice thing with this has got 8 hours of battery life. So you can turn it on at the beginning of the day and you know you're good for the day. So you don't have to worry about turning it on and off. I got the mic turned on. The beautiful thing of this is that if I wanted to record a scene here and there's no real audio to record, it's just there's nothing going on, I don't need to worry about that. I'll just hit record. This mic is synced to my camera and I'm going to get ambient audio that would be more than useful. There's no concern about clipping. There's no real loud noises, so not a problem. And there's no bird singing. There's no owls calling. There's nothing dynamic going on where I would want to make sure that I have the higher quality audio from the 32-bit. A wren comes flying in and starts to sing on a rock there, and you really want to make sure you get that audio as awesome as possible. What's really nice with this setup is that my thumb engages the audio. So I can start recording video with the camera and push the thumb button at the same time, and I'm going to have synced audio, or close enough that I know it'll be the right file, and in post I'll have that video file that I can just sync up with the audio file. So now I'm getting a separate 32-bit recording on the Rode Wireless, but I'm also getting in-camera recording through the microphone. I'm not just utilizing the on-camera mic, which is terrible. So this is an awesome way to get much higher quality audio, nice and quick. And that's the beautiful thing with having it on the cage here, is you can literally hit it exactly the same time. You can start recording just by pushing your thumb button and starting the recording on the camera at the same time. It works phenomenal. But there's another trick to this that really makes it worthwhile as a setup for wildlife photography. So as I was saying with the zoom there, the hardest part is handling noise. So, you know, you could have that clipped on your belt and you get a bird calling and you're going to try and record the audio of the bird. The problem is this has got a bit of time delay. You know, if I turn it on there, you can see how it takes a bit of time to get charged up. And now I can hit record on that. So you can see there's a bit of time delay, which is less than ideal for a bird singing and something like that. And the reality of wildlife photography, I'm out hiking, I'm on foot, I'm hiking through the forest. I would say more than half the time, you have got a good audio opportunity with no visual. You don't see it, there's no video opportunity. In the past, if I wasn't going to record utilizing this and I just wanted to record into the camera with the microphone, I've got to take the camera off, I've got to put the camera up, I've got to hold it pointing towards the subject and hit record to record a video so that I've got some audio. Problem is you're hand holding it, so you're going to have some handling noise there, and there's going to definitely be some noise associated with it. No, ideally you want to put it on a tripod, but so often as you're walking through the forest, you're going to get that Pacific wren singing, a spotted towhee singing, and it might be alarming on you. There might be something going on. It's alarming at a crow, something like that. It's a very quick moment. You need to hit record. Well, this setup is absolutely phenomenal. So how this works is, because I've got the microphone on a small rig arm on this side, I just rotate this up and hit record. And I've got 32-bit recording right now. There's no handling noise. So I do need to make sure this cable gets a hit. That would be the only bit of handling noise at all. But because I've got the camera cinched down snug on my cotton carrier, I can actually move it to where the audio is coming from. I can position it as needed, and then it's hands off. And it records amazingly clean audio with the simple press of a button. So it gives you that, you can build up your audio library so quickly. It's absolutely amazing, where you're off for a walk and you know, a frog starts croaking, you've got something going on in the environment. Said you can't see it, but that frog just will add ambiance to, you know, that walking through the forest video. Anytime you're, you know, in the woods, having that library of bird calls, animal calls, sounds, it's just so invaluable to kind of rounding out the the experience that you're trying to make with that wildlife video footage, this is just an incredible way that as you're just walking around, oh, bird starts calling, you're recording, and you've got that. So you can, it makes it infinitely easier. You are ready to go like that. You're recording 32-bit audio, and phenomenal. So there's a couple things you're going to want to do when you set this up. First off, these tend to record quite quiet. It's not like it doesn't have, it's not like it's a standalone 32-bit, you know, like I think it's the Zoom F3, I believe, has got 32-bit float internally, and it's going to have quite a bit more internal boost or gain that you can set on it. So with this setup, because these are essentially lav mics, what you're going to do, we're going to do a couple different things. One, first off, we're going to make sure that we have got the gain on the microphone turned up as much as possible. So this one goes up to 10, either 10 or 9. You want to kind of boost it as high as you can go. And that'll help to, just to help elevate the forest noises, the calls, etc. You want to make sure this microphone, like I said, it's $120, $130. It's an inexpensive microphone. It does have a little bit of self noise to it, so you want to see what the self noise of your own microphone is before you just crank it all the way up. You might find at a point it starts to create quite a bit of its own noise, so be aware of that. You want to kind of do some testing on your own. But then what we're going to do is you want to go into, so you get a USB cable, and what we're going to do is we are going to connect this USB cable. We're going to connect this to the phone here. So we're going to get a USB-C cable. We're going to connect USB-C cable to the Rode wireless. We're going to plug it into the phone, and we're going to open up the Rode wireless app. We're going to open up the Rode app. We are going to go down, and what we're going to do, we're going to go to manual for the gain assist, and we're going to turn it up to 32 gigabytes. So basically kind of putting the gain as high as possible on the 32-bit. Because we're going to be dealing with often lower noises, clipping at the high end isn't as much of an issue for wildlife. But again, because we're recording in 32-bit internally here, it's not going to be a problem. We should be it'd be very unusual to have a noise loud enough in the environment where you're clipping on the 32-bit audio. So we're basically just going to change this to manual, make sure that we're at 30 decibels. We're going to turn the high pass filter on. We're going to go to 75 Hertz. And this is just going to that'll cut out some of that low rumble. You've got the option of the high pass filter on the microphone itself or on the Rode. You can do one or the other, ideally. I might actually even suggest, instead of doing it in the app itself, if you do it on the microphone, so you turn the high pass filter on in the microphone, that way you can do it in the field easier. You're not having to connect to the app. But you just want to make sure that you've got it set where you're dealing with gain assist as high as possible on the recording, and that just kind of amplifies any of those bird calls, anything like that. And if you've got a microphone that might have a lot of self noise, you might need to play with that a little bit just to kind of get that where you're not kind of elevating that self noise too much, but you'll have to kind of play with your own system in that regard. But yeah, so this is kind of like I say, so now it's just so simple. I'm heading out, I'm walking down the trail. A bird calls, I spin the mic up, hit record. I'm recording 32-bit float. I want to put the camera on the tripod. I'm good to go. I just turn it back down, and it's really simple. So I'm using a small rig, little quarter 20 magic arm, the small one. It's okay. I did have to use Loctite onto the small rig cage just to help keep it snugged up. I found it would keep coming loose all the time. Depending on how large or heavy your microphone is, you might need to go something a little bit larger than this one. I'd use this just to keep it as small as possible. And then what I did with I used I don't know if you can see that there, a cold shoe mounted to it so that it's nice and simple to adjust, to put the microphone on. I'm not having to thread the microphone onto a quarter 20, which I tried that and it didn't really work as well. So having the cold shoe mount worked super well for that. I will leave links for all the bits and pieces down below. But yeah, if you're getting into wildlife videography and you've been struggling with audio, as I have over the years, this is a really clean way of getting you out the door. Just start getting you recording, getting audio, and just, you know, recording the forest as much as you can. And that 32 bit float is just amazing to have. So these are 32 gigabytes internal recording. So I deleted almost an entire year's worth of audio off of this one earlier today. So you don't have to worry about cleaning them off on a regular basis. You can record hours and hours of footage internally on one of these, which is just great. But yeah, so there's kind of my quick run and gun rig for getting audio. Please like and subscribe if you found this helpful. And till next time, we'll see you out there. Take care.